Welcome back to sportsbookreview.com. How exciting. It is the brand new season of the Premier League Punters. Joining us this season will be Flash and Big Man. You may notice Alex is not here. Alex will be on the Best Bet and many other shows. He'll be giving his Premier League shows. But we have so much to talk about that the three of us here, between the three of us, we're going to get this done. And I am super excited to welcome back my friends, Flash and Big Man. Starting off with you, Flash, how has your break been? Have you enjoyed yourself? Are you back? Are you glad to be back?
Yeah, I am because, as you know, I didn't really fancy the World Cup. I didn't think it was very good at all. And now, obviously, we're at to the business end where we all know what we're doing and looking forward to it. And it lasts so much longer as well. So, yeah, bring it on.
You didn't like the World? I love the World Cup. Not for my bank balance didn't like it so much. I think I just about broke even, but it was a fun time.
Yeah, it was fun, but the quality. See, I have a bit of a problem when I'm watching a game. I look for the quality and setups and things like that. It's just out of professional habit, and I thought it was really, really poor.
All right. Big Man on campus, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Natalie. I'm great. I'm happy to be back. This is one of my favorite shows that I do here at SBR. And I got to agree with Flash. I thought from a perspective of the quality, I didn't think it was particularly good either. I thought it was, I was missing out on some of the bigger teams that we weren't able to see. I thought the quality in the first few rounds was poor as well. But the season is back. I know Flash and I, and even I'm sure yourself have been involved with the championship and other things. And I got to tell you, Nat, I've been getting involved with MLS this year. It's been a fun year with that as well. I'm happy though to be back. Premier League Punters, one of the best shows in the business. I look forward to the entire year.
Absolutely. Me too. Well, listen, let us crack on. First of all, welcome as well to everybody watching live. We're reading the comments in the chats. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Also, next week I see Bosman 1, Arsenal future to win. We will be doing next week. We'll be doing the Premier League futures as well as the other ones. So stay tuned for those videos. Starting off with one of the key fixtures. And now, Big Man, I was reading on Twitter there, Manchester United versus Leicester. You have absolutely nothing. Vardy is out on injury. You've got to admit, Manchester United, their defence, Vardy out. I think low scorer could be a key here, Big Man.
Well, I got to tell you, and I hate to go on a rant right away, but I think it's despicable that Jamie Vardy's not fit. I mean, what did the guy play in the World Cup? 15 minutes? Where is this guy? Why is he not starting? I don't think he's injured. What's the issue here? Coming off the bench in the first game of the season? What's that all about? Yeah, look, the game today, I thought I might consider maybe a +1, but then I saw the lineups. I wonder how James Maddison will get on in the midfield for Leicester coming up from the championship. That could be difficult for him to make anything happen. You mentioned the defense. No Lukaku. It's just a game that I'm going to just kind of sit back and watch as a fan, maybe get involved from a live perspective. But you have issues with both clubs right now, so for me it was a stay away. I'm pretty annoyed. Where's Vardy? That's pathetic.
Yeah,
he's not in the lineup. He didn't even play in the World Cup.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Flash?
What, Vardy or the game tonight? Because both of them for me are a non-entity. Vardy was carrying an injury through, and obviously they said he needed an injection or something in his groin, if I'm right. And the game tonight, no, it's just a complete and utter stay away. Can't trust Man United to score. If you put a gun to my head, then I'll say Man United to win. But we're here to try and make money and profit over the course of a season.
That's
and
right.
I'm not going to be giving any flippant any guesses really. So for me, the league starts tomorrow, not tonight.
Yeah, interesting. So both of you are a no play on this game. And it's interesting you both agreeing. Normally difference of opinions here, but starting the season agreeing. No plays for both of you.
No, United's already up 1-0.
Oh,
they've already scored.
Oh, I've not got the. I did the research before. Okay, well, 1-0. I like under 2.5 goals. I have to say 1.8 for this fixture. What do you think? Obviously, signings have been the major topic of the preseason, and Manchester United failed to land a host of their top targets. Is that a bad thing, Flash?
No, not really. Because the thing is, sometimes you just go out and buy players for the sake of buying them. I mean, it's like Spurs. Spurs have got they've got a big, decent squad, And if you're not going to bring players in that are actually going to bolster your first 11, then why bother? So I mean, listen, there's some teams that should have gone out and bought the right players and probably haven't. But then there's like Man United were linked with Maguire for 60 million. Do me a favour and let me go on record now and tell you the amount of goals that Leicester will let in this season through the centre of that defence. So let me tell you now, Maguire for 60 million, I would have accepted 40. So I just cannot get it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Leicester spent the fourth most amount in the Premier League this season, obviously looking to reclaim the title that they won in the 2015-16 season. How far of a run do you see them making this time, Flash?
I don't. I think that they'll be 9th, 10th, or 11th.
All right. Big man, what was the same question to you there?
Yeah, that's where I seeded them. I did my own top 20. I had them, I believe, 9th. I think they're right around kind of that second level of Premier League teams. I don't think they're good enough to get to Europe, but I do like some of the signings they made. I think Johnny Evans is a pretty nice signing. Bringing in, I think Madison's a guy that can play at this level. They went out and did some good things. And, you look, this is a team that gave up 60 goals last year. While I think Flash makes a good point, at 60 million, I would have taken it. Again, losing Harry Maguire would have been tough on top of that. But yeah, I think Leicester are good. I don't think they're great. They're kind of a mid-table, right up at the top mid-table team to me.
Yeah. All right. So first, no play. Yes, we're in the 7th minute there. Manchester United up 1-0. I do like both teams to score no 1.8, and I do like the under as well, 1.8 as well. Newcastle versus Tottenham now. Tottenham 2.1, draw 3.5, and Newcastle 4. Tottenham didn't make any single signings this summer. They spent $0 and a first for a club since its introduction in 2003. Did they need to sign anyone, Flash?
I'm not so sure they did, and probably the obvious one would have been if they wanted to sign someone, they had to go out and get a proper striker to fill in the role that Harry Kane can't play 55 games in a season. But what they've done is they've got players from last year that actually didn't contribute as much through injury. So, and I think continuity is massive for Tottenham. I think that keeping Toby is massive. Sanchez had a good World Cup. I think defensively they're fine. I think Tottenham are going to be there top 4, top 5 again. So, no, I don't. Again, they were going to go out and buy, unless they bought a striker, a top striker, but then he'd have to play second fiddle to Harry Kane because he doesn't play 2 up front. So for me, I think that they were probably right in what they're doing.
Yeah, they're third place though, but behind Manchester United, Manchester City there last season. I don't see them making an improvement on this one. Obviously, they're starting the season with injuries here. 2.1 seems like a nice price, but is it a dangling carrot or a low-hanging fruit, as they say on the Low Back Show, big man?
Yeah, I'm not taking the bait on this one. No, sir. There's going to be a lot of people out for Tottenham tomorrow. You're going to see a real skeleton team for this group. And you got to travel up to Newcastle. And look, I have Newcastle threatening. I could see a situation where Newcastle could go down, especially if Rafa's fired or whatever. There's a lot of issues with this team off the field. I got to be honest. I didn't quite understand letting Dwight Gale go to West Brom. I would have hung on to him. I thought he was a good player last year, but you look at this price, you look at where the game is, you look at the fact that no one's going to be playing for Spurs. I'm actually going to take Newcastle draw double chance here at 1.8. I think they can get a result in this one. I think Tottenham's going to be right there for punters to just grab. I think it looks way too easy here. If the lineups are any indication of what we're going to see tomorrow, there's not going to be a lot of high-level players in there for Tottenham Hotspur. I think Newcastle, the crowd will be there. Could see a wiry crowd tomorrow up in Newcastle. They could be quite interesting. I'm going to go Newcastle draw double chance at 1.8 in this one.
Yeah, I was looking at that, big man. I was sort of on the same lines, and but Newcastle have had a poor pre-season, failing to score. So I was on the sort of the Spurs win, looked a bit further, came off the Spurs win, but Newcastle just weren't looking so strong. But you think new season at home, I was sort of on the torn, to be honest. Flash, what are you thinking there on the outrights?
No, I've got to leave it all alone, and this will be a familiar thing for me today because you've got to think of the World Cup hangover. I mean, nearly every single one of the Tottenham, maybe 16 that would normally be involved, were all away They've all been they've had any rest. Newcastle organised. I can see all three results possible. So if you can actually get two of them on your side with Newcastle in the draw, I wouldn't talk you out of it. I'd talk you up. Listen, it could be unders. I'm going to leave this game alone as well. I'm going to be very selective for the first few weeks so that I can have a good look because of the World Cup hangover, and also we don't know on some of the teams of what we're going to get.
Yeah, and I tell you, sort of echoes sort of what we say like each season. The beginning and the end of the season are always the hardest. So I sort of I really agree, Flash, with your way of approaching the beginning of the season, and you guys as well. Just go tread a little carefully these first couple of weeks, just to see. Somebody wrote, Brian Rowe, why didn't the Premier League punters go live yesterday? I had a problem with my flight. It was they cancelled my ticket, so I had to go on the next day. So that's why it's today. It would have been yesterday, and I think normally it's going to be Wednesday, but next Wednesday it is a holiday here, so it's going to be Thursday next week as well. I was looking, I'm torn, very torn between Spurs to win because I think they are a better side than Newcastle. I also like both teams to score 1.8, but I think it's going to be a game that I leave alone as well. Newcastle, obviously, they've made 7 signings this summer, spending a respectable £23.6 million. So it'll be interesting to see what team they bring to the table. But leans Spurs 2.1 and both teams to score. All right, Bournemouth versus Cardiff now. Going to see newcomer Cardiff. We haven't seen them for a little while in the Premier League. Bournemouth, obviously, landing 12th spot last season. Cardiff, obviously their first match, they are away. Bournemouth obviously struggle on the road, but they've got the home advantage here. So that 1.9 for the Cardiff win, for the Bournemouth win, could be interesting. Cardiff come in at a slight 4.8. Start us off, Flash. What do you like in this match?
I don't like it. This stinks of Crystal Palace versus Huddersfield, opening game of the season last year, when we said that the teams that come up, be wary of them for the first month because they'll play on adrenaline alone. I can't rely on Bournemouth. But my theme for the majority of these games is the value is going to be in goals. And this is not a game that I can predict because I'm going to hit on Cardiff nearly every single week of this season. So I'm certainly not going to get involved and rely on Bournemouth on the opening day. Pass.
Another pass, all right. Cardiff, obviously, have 6 new signings headed into the Premier League here, spending £28.5 million. Do you think they can stay up, Cardiff, big man?
Absolutely not. I think this is one of the worst teams we've ever seen at this level. I don't think they have any talent whatsoever that's good enough to be at this level. There's no Premier League players in this team. I mean, there just isn't. There's no way they stay up. I'd be surprised if they get 30 points, frankly. I think they're a bad team. I think Bournemouth is a team that I'm pretty high on. I think what Eddie Howe's done there is quite amazing, really. I don't think he gets enough credit. I think they have some pretty good goal scorers. They're at home here. They will struggle a bit at the back, but I have no confidence that Cardiff can score goals. So this is actually one of my favorites of the weekend. I do hear Flash's kind of words of wariness where, hey, you don't want to jump out on maybe some of these that look a little too good to be true. But I think this one, I'm going to be confident that Bournemouth can get the job done. I'll go with the Cherries at home. I think Cardiff are a dreadful, dreadful team.
Yeah. Well, I tell you here, Giorgio says Cardiff won't win many games. Cardiff over under 23 points for the season. Interesting bet there as well. Yes, I think they will struggle in the Premier League. Bournemouth to win as well. Cherries at home, I think to me is the obvious play. 1.9. I like that one a lot. Fulham versus Crystal Palace now. Fulham 2.5, Crystal Palace 3, and the draw 3.4. They came third in the championship there. Crystal Palace came 11th, very close on the outright. It's always interesting to see how a newcomer will do at home. Big man, how do you fancy Fulham's chances against Crystal Palace?
I think their chances are pretty good. I think these two teams are going to be pretty solid. I think it's big for Palace that they were able to keep Wilfried Zaha. I think he's one of the better players outside of the top 6. But this Fulham team, I mean, what a summer for them. I mean, they went out and really improved their side. I mean, bringing in, obviously Schürrle, they grabbed Mitrovic. I thought the Callum Chambers move by Arsenal, I didn't quite understand that. You sell him to Fulham. Timothy Fosu-Mensah. It's a good team. I think they're a team that's going to score goals. I think they have the ability to stay in that top 13-ish area. I'm going to go both teams to score in this one, though. I think it's one of the better plays on the board this weekend.
Yep.
I think both teams have some question marks at the back. You can get both teams to score at about 1.75. It's not a great price, but I'm confident we can see goals in this one. I'm sorry, 1.7. I think it's 1-1 at worst. It's tough to pick a winner, but I'd lean with both teams to score at Craven Cottage.
Yeah. I have to say, both teams to score as well. Big man, I found 1.77. So shop around for your odds there. Crystal Palace by the end of the season was scoring goals for fun. 12 over 5 games. I think 5 of those was to Leicester. An incredible end of the season. Flash, do you think we're going to see goals in this fixture?
Yep, 100%. My money's already down on this game. This is probably one of like 3-4 games that I've absolutely nailed, and I agree totally. 1.77, both teams to score, but my nap is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 2.12.
2.12, bringing in the Alex Classic. Nice. I think I might have an Alex Classic under my sleeve as well. All right, so on the same page here. And what do you again? The big man sort of said, he sort of sees that Fulham could end up in sort of a mid-table here. Do you think they're gonna end up around there?
Yeah, I think that they'll probably be sort of 13th, and maybe I don't see them going down. That's the first thing. I'll go online.
Yeah.
They play football. And the big thing that you need when you come up is pace in your team. They've got pace, they've got energy, they've got a youthful enthusiasm about them, almost an exuberance. And it's not a great place to go. Craven Cottage is a lot like the old Dell used to be. It's very enclosed, it's very atmospheric, and I see Fulham being okay.
All right, first full house of the
Nat.
season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against taking a shot with Fulham to win this match at 2.5. I think Flash makes a great point about just the overall atmosphere they have there. They are kind of right there, and it is more of the smaller kind of stadium, if you will. I think they're a decent crack here. The concern I have is this is kind of a stalemate. Both these teams pretty similar. Wouldn't surprise if it's 2-2, but maybe a smaller play, giving it a shot with Fulham. 2.5, not a bad number for you. Getting a little plus money back. But I think we all are well aware goals are on the menu here.
Goals on the menu, yes. First full house there. Both teams to score across the board. Huddersfield versus Chelsea now. Chelsea 1.65, draw 4, and Huddersfield 6.5. I was reading a comment saying, are we against Huddersfield again this season? I wasn't against Huddersfield. Big man, what do you think of Huddersfield's chances this season? Is it too early to tell? Tough match hosting Chelsea for their opener there, but what are you predicting?
Well, look, listen, I think we need to slow the Jets here a bit on Huddersfield. They literally, by the skin of their teeth, stayed up. I think they're another foregone conclusion to go down this year. Look, I like Rabadon Sabah. I think that was a pretty good signing, but overall, I think they have a little hangover here. They're a team that really struggled to score goals. I think they were second in the league as far as fewest chances. I think only other Swansea had less chances than they did. They didn't have a defensive player score a goal. Set pieces were a problem all year. I think Wagner just really got pretty lucky, frankly. I'm willing to double down that they stay down or go down this year. As far as in this match, it's a tough one just because you are going to have that home field for Huddersfield. They will play on passion, kind of like Flash said. And Chelsea are coming in. Chelsea's one of the more questionable sides this year to me in the Premier League. A lot of question marks. I don't really understand the manager choice. You got people unhappy. You have Courtois being sold right before the window closed. This is a match I'll be far the hell away from. But to make my point, if John Smith's interested, I'll double down that they don't stay up this year.
Doubling down. Shane said, so this was the comment that I saw here. Are we against Huddersfield to start with a tough beginning? I don't think they will survive this time around. And then David Huang is going for Chelsea -1 on the Asian handicap. Tempting the price, Chelsea 1.65. The value definitely being in the Huddersfield 6.5. I agree with you though, Big Man. It's a new season. Huddersfield at home. It's tough. Flash, is this another you're staying away from?
100%, I'm staying away from it. But John Smith last year, I was the one of the three of us guys who didn't want to take the staying up, even though I knew that they would struggle. I'll go on record because Huddersfield, along with Cardiff and one other that I'll bring up, they're down for me this year.
Yeah.
I think that they'll get found out, they'll get picked apart. But on this game, I wouldn't want to go anywhere near it.
Okay, stay you as well. Well, listen, our viewers here, David Huang, Chelsea will win this one easily. Chelsea -1, easy money. Barca man, Chelsea -1 at 2.02. There was another comment as well. I said Barca man, something. Oh yeah, but then Zalto says Chelsea have the worst central defenders, but they have obviously new signing goalkeeper Kepa, midfielder Jorginho from Napoli. They spent, how much did they spend? 122 million pounds with just 4 new signings. They finished fifth last season. Can they look to improve on that, Flash?
Well, first of all, you just mentioned 120 odd million. The money and the amount of money that people spend does not matter a jot, Natalie, because last year they bought Bakayoko and Rudiger, who were 2 of the worst players in the Premier League. These people that go out and buy players, and I actually did it for a living, they actually go out and buy reputations and not good players. So let's hold on and let's see whether the people got value for money at, say, Christmas. So for me, I'm just staying away from this. And fifth, yeah, I don't see him being out the 5, but I don't see him being guaranteed to be in the 4.
Yeah, I've got as well. Marco Polo says Chelsea are going to be the biggest disappointment of the EPL. What's your thoughts on that, big man?
I have them 6th. I think they miss out on top 5. I just look at every team around them, and I think every team around them is better. I don't like the manager appointment. I don't think it makes any sense. Sarri didn't win anything in Italy. I don't know what it's going to make sense. I mean, you look at some of the comments coming out from him this week. I mean, it doesn't seem like he even knows who's on this team. Does he have any idea what he's doing at this club? It doesn't seem like he does. That's a concern for me. I'm a lot of question marks around this group. Flash made some points about, or one of the commenters made some points about their defense. You got to lose Courtois, who's one of the better goalkeepers. Look at a guy like Morata. Morata was horrendous last year. You're lucky Hazard was able to hang and stay there, because without him, who knows what would happen. Look, they still have N'Golo Kante and Hazard and guys like that, Willian. But in this game, Willian won't play, Kante won't play. You're basically going to have to deal with Alvaro Morata, which I don't want any business with him. I don't think they're a huge. I don't think. If Marco Polo is making it sound like he thinks they're going to be 13th or something, I think they're 6th. I don't think they're a top 5 side, but I think they'll stay in Europa.
Yeah.
And even in Europa League, I think they'll struggle to win that. So for me, I'm going Chelsea. I'm staying away from this match. It'll be a tough one. Tough one of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely one to watch. I do like Chelsea though, 1.65. I have to say, on a top 5 team there, it's hard to pass, but I will pass. I'm leaning. So Chelsea 1.65 is the lean for me on this one. Don't forget, guys, like we do every single season, we keep a track of our record there. So as we do each show, we show our profit and losses. We were very good to end up in profit last season, as we have done since we have been doing the show. I think we've been doing this for about 6 years now, long time. So we do our homework and we get the bets in. But sometimes we have losing weeks, but it's the overall record that counts. Watford versus Brighton. Watford 2.45, draw 3.2, and Brighton 3.4. It's expected to be low scoring. If you look at the previous fixtures, I think the last 6 head-to-heads have seen the under 2.5 goals. So if you want to follow trend here, the under, you can get anywhere between 1.53, I believe at Bet635, or as high as 1.61, depending on where you shop. Are we following trend here, big man? We guess it's going to be a low score, boring game, as many are predicting.
Well, I think the big question is if Watford can score early, it could be a kind of a higher scoring one, just because Watford were at times able to score goals this year, and they struggled at times to keep goals out. You look at some of the moves Watford made, I'm not in love with. I mean, De La Feu's, I guess, a decent move. You lose Richarlison, who was your best player. Could Troy Deeney only scored, I think, 5 goals last year. I think this is going to be a boring match. I'm going to actually go with the draw here. I think this one is 1-1. I really believe that. I think Glenn Murray can maybe find the back of the net for Brighton, who did make some good moves, and I think Brighton will do enough to stay up. I actually believe that Watford is going to be the third team to go down this year. I'm just not overly
Really?
impressed by the side they have. I chose them last year and they were able to stay up, but I'd be interested to see Flash's opinion. I don't really know how many great players they have in this side. I don't see that many. I see a team that is going to struggle all year and be right on that line to go down. But in this one, I think this is a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go draw at 3.2 between Watford Brighton. It wouldn't be surprising if it's 0-0.
Yeah. All right, first draw. They've made Brighton have made a whopping total of 16 new players, most of them young players, obviously eager to make their mark. What does that mean for Brighton, Flash? Will we see a team that hasn't yet gelled? Or is Brighton a team to watch in sort of the next season?
I think what we saw from Brighton last year was that they were very good at home, but what they did very well, I mean, they weren't too clever on the road, but what they did was they beat all the teams around them. Without foul, they were probably the best of maybe the bottom 6 or 7, and that's how they managed to stay up. And then they built on that. They've got good camaraderie. They've got good discipline. They've got a very good coach. And by the way, I don't know if you think that myself and Big Man have been talking off air or been sharing emails or been on Skype, but he's basically gone for Cardiff, Huddersfield, and Watford to go down. Well, just copy and paste that because they're my three as well.
Really?
And just to agree a little bit more, my bet for this weekend that's already on is Watford and Brighton, both teams to score at 1.9.
Ooh, they're going for, okay, interesting. So both teams to score. Do you think this is going to be a 1-1 draw or a 2-1 to a certain team? How would you lean on
I
the
just
outright?
think, yeah, I know I didn't go with the outrights because it's one of them. Opening day of the season, Brighton are not too great away. Watford can't keep clean sheets. Watford are at home. They've got to be on the front foot and get something. I spoke to a couple of Watford fans, funny enough, over the last 2 days. Do you think they're mad to say that they see this as a 6-pointer on the opening day of the season?
Was that a question?
Probably.
Yeah, I was asking you, do you think they're mad? Because we're talking opening day of the season, and they're saying it's a must-win game.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So for me, I feel so for me at 1.9, I don't care if someone goes and wins 2-1. I just definitely see both teams scoring.
Yeah, yeah. And Marco Polo, Watford, Brighton. I'm going with the under. I agree with Big Man's draw too.
Hey, Nat.
Yes.
I will say on Flash's point there with going down, I actually took Watford, Cardiff, and Huddersfield. I got 16-1 earlier this week on those three to go down. So I'm going to be highly interested all year in these three sides. But I think Flash is right. I think for both these teams, you got to try to win this game, but I don't think neither will.
Yeah, and it's interesting. A lot of it as well. Barcelona like this. Watford double chance and the under 2.5 goals at 1.97. I do like the under. It's a low price, 1.61. I am going with the trend here. I also looked at Watford draw no bet as well at 1.7. Just going, a lot of people as well. Fabio Pombino says, I believe Chelsea is free money. Huddersfield doesn't impress me. A lot of people still going on about that Chelsea win, 1.65 or taking a -1, something like that. All right, moving on. Wolves versus Everton. And I'm very excited to see how Wolves fare this season. I think they're going to make a good run. I think Flash as well, when we spoke before the new season, we knew Wolves would be joining the Premier League. 2.33. They are the favourites there on their turf. Everton 3.3 and draw 3.3. Very interesting clash. I'm going to really enjoy this game. I'm sort of liking Wolves to win, I have to say, their first Premier League fixture. What do you think, Flash?
Well, listen, I'm going to actually pass on the outrights because I think we're going to see two decent sides that will earn us a few pound over the course of the season. Wolves were outstanding last year, and now they're even better equipped to go into the Premier League because they're going to get more time and space, which sounds mad when you think you're going up a level, but their players are probably they're more aligned for the Premier League, and we've got Everton that I hit on all last season and said, see you next year with Everton. So I just see 1.85, both teams to score. Now, that's 100%. I've done that. I've put it with them others that I've already done, but I can see Wolves going and winning this. I can also see Wolves this could be a 3-2 to Everton. I can just see this being a line in the sand for both teams to say, listen, we're here to entertain this year, and we're going to get on with it.
Yeah, both teams to score. Very nice bets and goals as well. What are you liking, big man?
Listen, I don't think there's anyone on God's green earth that has been more positive about Wolverhampton Wanderers than myself. I've actually turned into an honorary fan of this club. I love what they built at this Molineux Stadium. I think they're a fantastic side. I think they're going to do quite well this year up with the big boys. They went out and got Adama Traore. That's a big signing. And the fact that they were able to do that, I think they can finish 10th. Maybe ninth. I think they're a good side. I really believe that. In this game, I'm all over both teams to score. I think it's the best play of the weekend. I think, like Flash said, I think we're going to see a lot of goals. I think it's going to be a fun game. Could be one of the better games of the weekend. And with that continued connection to Portugal, look for more signings. This is a good football team with a lot of talent. Look for Wolves to win a lot of matches and gain some points this year.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you as well. Definitely interesting match. Both teams to score over 2.45 goals. I like the Wolves win, but for my record, both teams to score as well. Liverpool versus West Ham. Very interesting. I'm loving this Liverpool side. Liverpool 1.25, draw 6.5, and West Ham 14. Liverpool splashing the most cash this summer transfer window, 170.8 million. More or less. Now, I know it's not all about the money. Have they made some decent signings here? What are you expecting? I think Liverpool will have a shot for the title as well, Flash. What do you think about their signings?
I think this is a really, really cagey game for both teams. I think that Liverpool have built on what they did last year, and they've got a little bit more depth in their squad. But listen, I'm telling you now, Mo Salah will not be scoring 30 plus goals next year because teams will not allow him. I don't think he'll play as many games as he played last year. Now, go on the other side with West Ham. West Ham's a completely new outfit with a manager that is notorious for sewing up the back 4 or 5 early. So this is a pass for me, but I expect both these teams to improve individually on what they did last year. What that means for tomorrow, I just do not know.
Yep. Sorry, I've got they're messaging me from anyway. Sorry. What were you? So you do not know what as how they'll go with their the title.
No, I think that they're guaranteed to be in the top 3.
Yeah.
Providing certain people stay fit.
Yeah. Well, obviously, they made top 4 last season. West Ham came in 13th. They struggle on the road. It's low, that 1.25, as we know. But I don't know, Liverpool an Asian handicap. What are you looking at, big man?
I like West Ham in this game. I'm taking them +2 at 1.75. I think that's a laughable price.
Really?
Look, Liverpool are very good.
Wow.
I think Liverpool will win this league this year. I believe that. I think they're that good. But I love West Ham United. I think what they went out and did is quite impressive in their own right. I think Jack Wilshere was a nice signing for them. Yeah, they have a great group up front. You're bringing in Diop from Toulouse is a nice signing. You went out and finally get a goalkeeper. Get Joe Hart the fuck out of here. Get out of here, move, go away. Don't come back. Get out of here and beat it. So Ryan Fredericks, defender as well. What's up on that?
So you're doing West Ham +2.
I am taking West Ham +2. I think they hang in this game. I think it's I think it could be a push. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm gonna take the goals here. I think they can hang in this one. West Ham is to me 7th in this league this year. I think they're that good.
And you're not going to take your Mo Salah anytime goal scorer?
No, I actually I'm not saying I won't do it this year, but I think I think he'll have a bit of a more reserved year. It won't be like he had last year. Is he fully healthy is the big question. I don't think he was healthy at all in the World Cup.
I know.
Big question, is he fully healthy here? I'll take West Ham to hang around in this one up at Anfield.
Yeah. I'm on the fence on this one. I think we're going to see goals, but it's way priced low, 1.44. I like Liverpool in the over 2.5 goals, but it's low, 1.67. I think this is going to be one to watch for me, just more in terms of value. But if the value didn't count, Liverpool in the over 2.5 goals or the Liverpool win for sure. I think West Ham just struggle on the road, but definitely value there with that West Ham +2. Southampton versus Burnley. And Flash, did you give your bet? Sorry.
I didn't do one. I'm leaving the game. Pass.
You're leaving the game. All right. Southampton versus Burnley. Southampton 1.88, draw 3.5, and Burnley 5th. I was surprised about the outrights, 5.5 for Burnley. I thought that seemed pretty good in terms of value, but they have not had a good preseason. Southampton at home now looks good, 1.88. Are you going for that Saints win, Flash?
No, I'm not. I mean, first of all, I like my bet's actually going to be Burnley double chance at 2. And the reason is because they've already started a European campaign. They've already been playing competitive football, which normally gives teams a 3 or 4 week edge. Now, Southampton have not really improved on like the goal scoring side of their team. I think they'll be organised. I think they'll want to start better. But when you look at this and you're getting even money for Burnley and the draw, I have to go against Southampton because I listened. There was part of me that was going to go for Burnley at 5.5.
Yeah.
But I just thought I'd just err on the side of caution because we both know, all three of us can sit here and expect the game that could well be 0-0.
Yeah. No, that was my first thought, was Burnley. Wow, the price of 5. They are involved in their Europa League campaign, which Big Man has been covering with Alex, and they haven't been doing too well, which is surprising at this stage. Big Man, what are your thoughts on Burnley?
Well, I thought they were terrific yesterday. They were able to really hang in that game against a really good Istanbul team in Turkey. I thought that was impressive. Listen, Aberdeen in the first group they're a good side. I mean, they're always going to give you a tough game, the Farmers up there in Scotland. I think, it's amazing what Flash and we have such cohesion now all of a sudden. I love Flash. And
I'm not liking this. It's strange.
Well, I wonder where, but I think that makes sense that I've maybe arrived as a great football mind because everything he says, I agree with totally. I think it's actually going to help them early on in Europa League. And I got to tell you, I don't think they go very far in this competition anyway. So I don't think it's going to matter that they're in Europa League. They're not going to have to worry about Thursdays and Sundays for very long. I like Burnley as well here. I think if they can all stay healthy, I think if Chris Wood can stay healthy up front, they're not going down. People saying they're going down that's absolutely moronic. Imbeciles only say stuff like that. They're staying up. And I think they actually get a result here. I think Southampton are a dreadful side. I think they'll threaten to go down. I know Flash is a fan of the Saints, but I mean, can someone properly explain how Mark Hughes keeps getting jobs in the Premier League? This is a dreadful manager. Why does he get jobs and Flash Watson is doing videos with us? Can somebody explain that to me?
Listen,
I don't get how Mark Hughes is.
I'd prefer to do the videos with you guys. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't want to be doing his job.
Yeah, exactly. We wouldn't let Flash go for all the tea in China. No, he's part of the Premier League Punters. Team Bankroll all the way.
We'll put it this way. He would do a much better job than Mark Hughes would do down at St. Mary's. But for the record, I am going to go with draw double chance with Burnley. And I'm also going to go, if I may, Natalie, with a half or a unit also on Burnley to win. I think they can get a 1-0 victory here. We hit both bets. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Let's rock with that. Burnley.
All right. Do I take a chance with you boys? I like I like Flash's bet, I have to say. For me, gonna read some of the comments here. We've got under 2.5 goals, Southampton versus Burnley, says Marco Polo. That is a bet that I was looking at. 1.65. I'm sure that's what we're looking at here. Southampton, poor team, says Saeed. Burnley have second leg to play, auto pass. And there's definitely been a few, one of the sort of the Burnley are doomed, says Saeed. So interesting.
Doomed
it's
how?
Like, or do you just jump in and take the Burnley at the price of 5? Interesting stuff. And I don't know. I think I'm going to take
It is the one price now. No, it is the one price when you look through the card this weekend that absolutely jumps out of you. But I mean, but the thing is, instead of going for the 5.5, you're getting even money for Burnley and the draw against a side who hardly wins. It's like, hello, you know,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What was your bet, Flash?
my bet is Burnley double chance at 2.
And Big Man, what was your bet? You just taking Burnley?
I'm going to go with the same bet. Burnley draw double chance at 2. I'm also going to have a play on Burnley to win the match at 5.5 or 5.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, got to be done. All right, final match. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Man City 1.95, draw 3.8, and Arsenal 4. A very interesting team will Arsenal be to watch with Wenger finally out. That in out is finally over with the determination being out. Arsenal priced up 4. They are at home though. Sort of captain obvious play seems to me would be to take the Premier League champions 1.95, but I think it could be a dangling carrot. Flash, what do you think?
I think this is an absolute moral. Both teams to score over 2.5. Who's going to win? Don't really care. 1.75. And also, I'd just like to say, the Arsenal fans who wanted Wenger out, I wonder if they don't get off to a good start, it's one of them where you just don't know what you had until you lost it. So, and also, they've not got enough defenders. I know, but listen, we've been agreeing for too long, big man. I've got to end the show with us not agreeing. All right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
you won't find a case in hell where I agree with that comment. No way.
I know, but that's why I said it. Both teams to score and over 2.5 at 1.75.
Yeah. Oh, so what did you got it for 1.75?
Yes.
Yeah, 1.83. I found, Flash.
Oh, okay.
Shop
That's lovely.
around for your odds. More bang for your buck. It's always a lesson that one should follow. Absolutely. Last 7 head-to-heads. Have we seen goals? A cracker of a match, I'm hoping. I think Arsenal are going to be an interesting team to watch. I'm sort of on the lines of with Big Man here. But pre-season Arsenal have looked good, beating the likes of PSG, Chelsea and Lazio. So staying away from the outrights for me. Big Man, would you take Man City at 1.95?
No, I don't know that I wouldn't take it. But I like Arsenal this year. I think they're going to be a real good side. I think they get pushed for top 4, and I believe that they were a fortress last year at the Emirates. It's a new day up there. I don't know how new though it is now that Stan Kroenke's the principal owner of this club. He has destroyed this club, and I think if they can get rid of him, then I really will like Arsenal. But until they move on from him, I don't know. I think they're a good side though, and I think they've made a lot of moves to really fortify their club. I love Flash's play as well. Listen, I know we're on a lot of the same plays, but these look too good to be true. Over 2.5, both teams to score. Yes, 1.83. I think this is a fun match. I really do.
Yeah. What's your bet?
Both teams to score and over 2.5 at 1.83.
Yeah, well, yeah, full house, I have to say. I told you earlier I was going to whip out that classic, and 1.83 as well. Entertaining, one to watch. Interesting, we've got some different bets here. We've got Barca City team total over 1.5 goals. Very nice, 1.7. Marco Polo says half to like City at 1.95. Maybe it's hard to like City at 1.95. And Saeed as well. Man City over 1.5 goals. He found that at 1.66. Shane says classic Flash line. It's an absolute moral. Love it. Totally agree on that one. So we are all ending in agreement here, which is quite strange. We're normally on different opinions, but we're going for the Alex Classic. 1.83, both teams to score, and the over 2.5 goals. So we end the show. This is week 1 in the bag. We end the show with our nap, our favorite bet, and also our parlay. They keep writing messages on this screen, and it's really annoying. Both teams, so parlay bet and nap. Big Man, what do you like?
Before I get to my picks, I want to make everyone well aware. Hit the like button, please. I think this is one of the great shows in sports betting everywhere there is. I think it's one of the best shows on the air. Make sure you hit the like button. For me, banker, it's going to be Wolves, Everton, both teams to score at 1.8. My 2-team parlay, I'm going to go with Fulham and Crystal Palace, both teams to score. And I'm going to go with a Bournemouth straight win against Cardiff City.
Very nice. Flash, what have you got?
Well, I got Wolves, both teams to score against Everton at 1.85 nat.
Yeah.
And my parlay, Fulham, both teams to score at 1.77. And Arsenal, my parlay is Fulham and Arsenal, both teams to score over 2.5 goals.
All right, sweet. Nap. I think I'm going to go for the classic on the, just because it's such a wonderful game. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Nap, both teams to score over 2.5 goals, 1.83. Parlay being Fulham versus Crystal Palace, both teams to score 1.7. I really like that one as well as a nap. And what else? And then I'm going to go for the under 2.5 goals in Watford versus Brighton as my 2-team parlay. So there we go. Thanks for those words as well, big man. Give us a like. We are on next week. We'll be back 3 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, as well as kicking off the Best Bet show as well. So hope to see you week in, week out. Like I said, we chart our profits and losses so that you guys know who to follow, who to fade, and hopefully just have some fun in the whole time as well. Also next week, Monday is Champions League, Tuesday is Europa League.
Now, are we
Everything
doing any futures?
We are doing futures, yes. Next week. I'm doing the schedule right after
next
this.
Week.
Next week.
Oh, next week?
Yeah,
okay.
Are you around?
I mean, yeah, of course I'm around, because obviously, is it at the end of this show, or?
No, they keep writing. I've got news after this show, and I keep getting messages to hurry up.
Okay, so we don't
it'll
actually
be next
know
week,
when the
like I
future
think
show's
like
gonna
Monday or Tuesday we're going to do it.
Oh, like, if you could let me know, that would be great, because I'm not telepathic. I'm just going to be on screen waiting.
I thought you were a man of many talents, Flash. You are telepathic.
Settle down, Flash.
You'll just
we'll get you the
know.
schedule.
Don't worry. I will message you as soon as I know. Once I know, I'll let you know.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Go well.
Wonderful stuff. Team Bankroll, best of luck for the entire season. That was Big Man and Flash, and I'll see you guys next week. Better luck with your bets.
Thanks.
God bless.